Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are bringing you an exclusive insider's guide to completely demystifying the Cambridge International AS and A-Level English Language Paper 2 writing exam. If you have ever stared at a blank page and just wondered, what exactly are the examiners actually looking for? Well, you are in the perfect place. We're going to break down those dense marking schemes, analyze some real student examples, and basically turn all that exam criteria into a clear, actionable roadmap so you can snag those top-tier scores.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step roadmap. First, we'll decode the overall structure of Paper 2 and then take a peek inside the mark scheme itself. Next up, we'll tackle Section A by mastering shorter writing and the reflective commentary. And finally, we'll conquer the extended writing challenge in Section B.
Section 1. Decoding Paper 2. Let's start by just looking at the overarching structure of this 50-mark paper. Because honestly, it's not just about being a good writer, it is absolutely crucial to be a strategic writer who knows exactly how to allocate time and energy.
So here is exactly what the examiner is putting on your desk. You can see the exam is cleanly split right down the middle into two sections, each worth 25 marks. Section A is this mandatory two-part combo. Question 1A is a shorter writing task worth 15 marks, and 1B is a reflective commentary on that exact piece of writing, worth 10 marks. Section B, though, that's a single, heavily weighted extended writing task for 25 marks, where you get to pick one out of 3 possible prompts.
Now look really closely at this number. 400. For the Section A shorter writing task, you are required to write absolutely no more than 400 words. And here is a massive piece of insider insight for you. Strictly adhering to this maximum word limit is actually assessed by the examiners. It's true. If you write 600 words, you aren't showing the concise control the prompt demands, and that affects your score for achievement of task.
Moving on to Section 2, inside the mark scheme. Let's pull back the curtain a bit and reveal the secret rules of how your paper is actually graded.
I really want to reassure you with this crucial piece of knowledge. Examiners mark positively. Seriously, marks are absolutely not deducted for errors or omissions. They aren't sitting there with a red pen hunting for mistakes to penalize you. Instead, they are actively looking to reward you for what you know and what you can do.
Ultimately, your score boils down to 2 main assessment objectives. AO2 is all about the act of writing creatively. This is where you're judged on expression, organization, and how well you tailor your work for a specific audience. AO3, on the other hand, is your analytical skill. This comes into play during your reflective commentary, where you actually dissect those very stylistic choices you just made.
All right, Section 3, Mastering Shorter Writing. This is all about Section A, Question 1A. Let's look at how to systematically attack these prompts so you can crush that 400-word limit.
To succeed here, you literally need a decoding methodology. Step 1, identify the form. Are we talking about a letter, a diary, or maybe a descriptive piece? Step 2, determine the key focus. What exactly are you writing about? And Step 3, establish the desired effect and mood. Should you sound enthusiastic, secretive? You know, in a concise 400-word piece, there is zero room for waffle. Every single word has to count.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we can see this decoding process in action. Say the prompt asks for a diary entry about moving to a new and unfamiliar place, focusing on your mood. Boom! The form is a diary. The focus is a newly relocated narrator. And the effect is giving a crystal clear sense of their specific outlook on this massive change.
And take a look at how this student draft immediately hits the brief. They open with, "At last we're here." That short, punchy present tense phrasing perfectly establishes the diary convention right out of the gate. No long, boring backstory. They just plunge straight into the emotion, establishing relief and excitement. That is exactly how you maximize a tiny word count.
Which brings us to Section 4, the reflective commentary. This is Question 1B, where the whole task flips from creating something to analyzing it.
For this 10-mark section, you generally have 2 structural approaches. Option A is methodical, just working chronologically paragraph by paragraph. But Option B, that's the pro strategy. That means structuring your commentary by grouping stylistic elements together, like putting all your references to color in one section. It's so efficient because it stops you from repeating yourself and saves absolutely precious exam time.
And speaking of pro strategies, let's talk about quotes. A super common mistake is just dropping a massive, unedited paragraph of your own text right into the commentary. It completely kills the grammatical flow. Instead, the high-scoring technique is fluently embedding short, brief quotes directly into your analytical sentences. Like saying, "I conveyed movement through the nodding heads of the flowers." See?
Seamless.
And this brilliantly illustrates that exact embedding technique. This student commentary highlights their specific use of verbs. Notice how they call out the phrase have to follow to show the hidden nature of lake, and the verb flutter to emphasize the mood of shaking petals. They grab just the exact words they need to prove their point.
Okay, finally, Section 5, Conquering Extended Writing. We are pivoting to the final hurdle, Section B, which makes up half of your total marks for the entire paper.
And the most glaring difference here? This massive word count, 600 to 900 words. Listen, this section tests your stamina for sure. It is one thing to write a snappy little diary entry. It is a whole other ballgame to maintain a sophisticated style and a strong structural flow over a sustained piece of writing. So prepare for a bit of a hand cramp. Now, the good news is you get options. You might choose between a story full of suspense, a two-sided debate speech, or a local newspaper review. Since you only have to answer one, the absolute smartest thing you can do is choose the format where you can most naturally engage the specific audience they are asking for.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative challenge. The next time you sit down to practice, ask yourself, are your linguistic choices truly deliberate or just a happy accident? To get those top scores, every single verb and paragraph break needs to be a conscious decision made with the examiner in mind. Keep these strategies close and you'll absolutely crush Paper 2. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.